All right, what's going on, guys? We are back with another Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to be answering the question that's on everybody's mind. When the hell is 11th anniversary going to end, and when the hell does GDC start? No, but for real. So the 11th anniversary is still going on. We are in part 2. I know a lot of people are very unhappy with the way that the 11th anniversary has gone so far. However, the question we are actually going to be answering today is if there's going to be an EX part to this anniversary. Now, we're going to dive into a couple little things that we know and a couple little things that will be a little bit of speculation. So bear with me here as we kind of go through this stuff, and drop down below your feedback and your ideas of what you think we could see for the remainder of the 11th anniversary, if you think we are going to get an EX part or if we're just going to roll right into the next celebration. So let's hop in and let's take a look here. Now, looking at the part 2 information, one big thing kind of jumps out to me that makes me think that this is not the end of the 11th anniversary yet. Now, Omatsu did mention in the live broadcast for part 1, right? When we talked about the 11th anniversary, he had said that there was going to be one quick announcement that he wanted to give out before we really hopped into the events. And this announcement was going to be that, unlike past anniversaries, this 11th anniversary would strictly be split into 2 parts. Now, a lot of people are reading a lot into this, thinking like, oh, okay, 2 parts and we're done. That's it. There's going to be no part 3. There's going to be no EX part, like any of that. Well, I don't think that's necessarily true. Now, I don't think that we are going to have an exclusively called out part 3, but I do think we will have some sort of EX part for the anniversary. Now, looking at the details here for part 2, one of the big things that jumped out to me is this highlighted portion here where it talks about the background music that's currently playing for the game. Now, we did have Don Don playing for the part 1, right? Where we had that. And then, or no, we didn't have, we had Jaka John playing. We had Don Don for like the countdown part. We had Jaka John playing for part 1. It was all Daima focused. Then now we've got Survivor playing for part 2 because of obviously like the UI Goku, the Evolution Blue Vegeta, the theme around the Universal Survival Saga is there. So it makes sense for this to be playing as well. However, it just says until late February. But the anniversary, I mean, if you go by the panel missions, if you go by the summons, if you go by all the events here, goes until March 10th. So the anniversary will not be over by the time that this background music ends. Now, I know this is like one very small kind of breadcrumb, but I'm taking it, I'm running with it, dude, because to me, this means that they are going to play another background music, right? They're going to have another copyrighted whatever for playing for the home screen, all of that. It's just not going to be Survivor. So if there is no quote-unquote part 3, I think we're going to see an EX part. So typically once the 11th anniversary ends, we pretty much roll right into the next celebration, and then we've got the Saiyan Day celebration that starts on the 18th. If this is slated to go until the 10th, there's not really a whole lot of time before like the next celebration or like the Saiyan Day really begins. It's like another week and a day, right, from the 10th. So my thought here is, because we got these guys, what day did these guys come out? The 14th. Okay, so they dropped the 14th. That's a week ago. If we hit about 2 weeks, that's gonna be the 28th. 3 weeks is the 7th. So we're still gonna go, what, 3 weeks and then a couple days until the next celebration or like the next summonable unit? I don't think so. I think we could very well see something that first week of March before going into the next celebration, right? Or maybe we see an EX part for a summon or something of that nature to kind of fill in the gaps. Now, we're still waiting for the EZAs for the Spirit Bombs, the year 8s, which will come next week. That one's being speculated to be next week. So I think we're gonna get that. And that's gonna be our thing for next week. I think we could see an EX part for 1 week, right up until the end of the actual anniversary. Now, this is late February for this. It could really mean any time. right? It doesn't have to mean like the 28th or the 27th. It could end like the 24th, 25th, whatever. We're going to look at some past celebrations and when those kind of ended, how long they kind of span through, and see maybe when we could figure out when part 3 would be. And we're going to look through past anniversary characters to maybe figure out who we could see for the EX part LR, if, of course, always with a grain of salt, if this is to actually happen. Again, it's all speculation, it's all for fun. So again, Matsu saying that this is going to be strictly part 2 or 2 parts, no part 3. Does not necessarily mean there's no EX part, because that's just an extra part, right? It's not part of the anniversary, or it is part of the anniversary, but it's not like a distinctive part. It's an extra part. So if we look back at past anniversaries, right, starting from the first anniversary, we got Gogeta and Janemba. Now, this is just a super unit, an extreme unit. This was like the first major celebration, right? The first anniversary of Dokkan. So this is very cool. This is the way they kind of kicked everything off. Then we go into anniversary, the second anniversary, where we had the Super Saiyan 4s. These guys, both super type, right? Third anniversary, this is where we started kind of breaking things more so into parts. If you could see here, this is from like the old like wiki page. There was no, it doesn't look like there's really a part 2 for the second anniversary, but for part 3, or for anniversary number 3, there was 2 parts. Still no part 3, right? Just 2 parts. So they broke this down. This is where we got the Goku and Vegeta that transform into Gogeta, and the Goku and Vegeta transform into Vegito, who I think we all kind of were hoping they were going to get their Super Easy A's this celebration and keep that trend up, but I don't know if that's going to happen. There's nothing that really points towards it actually kicking off or actually happening. Maybe this could be part of the EX part, as these guys get a Super Easy A. You know, Omatsu did mention that the Easy A's, the events, and everything is going to be just as exciting as always. And I be careful who you ask, because people will tell you no, that's not very true. So I think these guys getting like a surprise Super Easy A at like the very end of the celebration during some sort of EX part, I think would be a very cool thing to do. And I think it'd be very, very smart on Dokkan's part as well. And it is a Goku and Vegeta centered celebration, so it would make sense to do this. I don't know why you wouldn't do it, but you know. Then we go into the 4th anniversary, still part 1, part 2, but this is where we started to kind of see part 2 LRs, right? So we have these Super Saiyan 4s again in LR form. Then we had the Baby and the GT trio. So again, a couple of super units and an extreme unit here. We roll into the 5th anniversary, and this is where we're starting to see a part 3 start coming to life, right? So we look at part 3 here. This basically, I mean, this isn't going to be the correct dates because this is all the global stuff. We really should have gone off the JP stuff because that's the actual timeline. But 5th anniversary did have a part 3. We did get the Gogeta, we got Vegito, we got Goku Black, and we got Broly, Chilai, and Lembo. So 2 extreme units and 2 super units. So a nice little 50-50 break there. 6th anniversary, again, broken down into 3 parts. We got the UI Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta, the Golden Frieza and 17, which is our extreme unit, and the Android 17 or Team Universe 7, who is a super unit. So I think you're starting to, you might be catching on to the trend I'm kind of getting here of the typings of units that we're getting for these celebrations. We roll into 7th anniversary, again, 3 parts. We got the gods, we got the GT boys, we got Grade 8 Vegeta, and we've got Kaioken Goku. Again, 3 supers, 1 extreme. 8th anniversary, the Spirit Bomb boys. This is what we got. So the GT Spirit Bomb, the End of Z Spirit Bomb, Kai Goku, and Kid Gohan. Now, no extreme class unit here, but they are all super class. So this is like one of the first celebrations that we saw when they started doing 2 parts that did not have an extreme class in their part 2, right? The last time we saw that was year 3 with the Goku and Vegeta that transformed into Gogeta and Vegito. After that, we started getting Super Saiyan 4s, and we got Baby. The next year, we got Goku Black, Broly, Chilai, Lembo, so on, so on, so on. So this year was kind of an outlier, right? They did not give us an extreme class unit, so it kind of, I guess it doesn't really fit the bill for everything there. Then we roll into the 9th anniversary. We had Gogeta and we had Broly to start off, and Broly was an extreme class unit. Then we got Beast Gohan and the Gammas. Finally, the 10th anniversary was, I don't even think you can use this as like a staple to like kind of really compare to anything. I think this was a special kind of anniversary that we won't see again, maybe until like the 10th anniversary, or if they want to do it for the 15th anniversary, if the game's still around that long. I hope it is, but I don't know. So part 1, we did get the Goku and Vegeta tag unit that transforms into Vegito, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku that goes into Super Saiyan 4, and the Evolution Blue Vegeta. For part 2, we got the Vegeta and Goku tag unit that transforms into Gogeta. We got the Gohan, and we got our extreme class unit again here with Frieza. So the Frieza and Goku tag unit starts off as Frieza, so it is an extreme class unit. So that kind of, and then I guess for the EX part, or you know, I guess part 3 EX part, however they wanted to phrase it for this celebration, we did get the Daima Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta. So we did get that bonus character, right? He dropped on March 4th. March 4th. I mean, it falls in line with the timeline here that I think we could see something popping up very, very soon. Because this is typically like the next celebration, right? So this 10th anniversary pushed into the next celebration. Here we go. We saw this guy here. If you look back at the 8th anniversary, I guess, again, this isn't really going to tell us unless we looked at the JP side. Let's go to the JP one here. We can go all the way down and we look at the end dates for these. March 6th for part 3. Part 2 ended on the 22nd. So unless they really, really, really want to stretch out part 2, I think we're going to see some sort of part 3, because it doesn't make sense for part 1 to basically be like the normal length, and then part 2 to be this extremely long part that has not a whole lot of content to it. I definitely think we're seeing some sort of EX part here that instead of being named part 3 is just going to be EX. Now this does fit the bill with late February as well. This did hit on the 22nd of February. For the 9th anniversary, this actually did, let's see what day it hit. Again, the 22nd. The 22nd of February. So, I mean, if we were to look at that, I mean, that's tomorrow. So definitely not going to be happening this week. But I don't know, man. Anything could be possible. We'll see. We'll see what Dokkan has in store for us. I still have faith that they're going to do something crazy here. Now, if we were to get an EX part, who do I think we could see as the EX like LR if it was just like one standalone like this guy was, right? One standalone character, hopefully an LR, not a TUR. The celebration is very much centered around Goku and Vegeta, New Horizons, their highest forms. So what if the EX part had nothing to do with Goku and Vegeta, really, because it's an extended part of the celebration, and it's not an official part of the celebration. It's not a part 3. Kid Buu, baby, here we go. So dropping the Kid Buu bomb once again. We are pushing the Kid Buu propaganda again. I'm sure like 40 people, if you were still around watching this video, just clicked off. And I joke, like 40 people don't watch my videos. It's fine. But Kid Buu, dude, I think if you were to try to end this celebration off with a real bang and you really wanted to go crazy with this, I think dropping a Kid Buu as like an EX port LR would make people go nuts. And I don't know, maybe it wouldn't, because maybe people are already so soured on the 11th anniversary and how like they haven't really enjoyed it so far, and they're like, oh, now this is just a cash grab. This is a BS thing that they're throwing out there. I don't know, man. I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I think a Kid Buu showing up for an EX port LR would be absolutely insane. And again, I say LR and not TUR because this boy needs an LR. Now, again, this is all speculation. This is all just me kind of having fun and talking a little bit here with you guys about my thoughts on the celebration going into maybe another part. I mean, let's see. So this started on the 14th, was part 2. Yeah, I mean, the 11th, really part 2 for the 9th anniversary began. For the, yeah, dude, I mean, the 21st, we had part 3 kicked off for the 10th anniversary. So, I mean, we can see, you know, if they really wanted to, I could see an EX part coming up the first week of March. And we kind of just roll through that. That's for a whole week, and then roll in the 10th and get the next celebration. And then a week later, go into Saiyan Day, and so on and so on and so on. But I don't know, man. These are just my speculations. This is what I'm thinking we could see. This is what I'm hoping we could see, because I think people need a little bit more from this celebration. We should be getting the EZA details for the Spirit Bomb duo very soon, the next couple days. Either the information or the units actually coming out within the next couple days. Then hopefully maybe some sort of announcement for an EX part, maybe the Super EZA announcements for the year 3 LRs, and maybe, just maybe, Omatsu will finally satisfy my itch for an LR Kid Buu. Please just do it. Make the joke end. It's not funny anymore. If you guys can stick around in this video, I do appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know what you guys think about my theory for there being an EX part for the celebration. Do you think we could see an EX part for the celebration, or do you think I'm just talking out of my ass? And do you think that we are only going to get this part 2 and that's going to be it? Nothing new, nothing crazy, no final surprise for the anniversary. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if we did get an EX part, who would you like to see be an EX character? Let me know down below as well. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.